Hi, it's Mountain Bldg Songbird in New York City. I have so much data for you, I'm going to get started right now. The video is The Age of Deceit Too. Hive Mind, Reptilian Eyes, TRANSpocalypse, Hypnotism, CU, XtremeReality Channel. Okay? Yeah, gods. I'll leave the camera in the pictures. Yeah, gods. Yeah, sons of the Most High. That's the sun in the sky. He's the son, Govinda Singh, Jesus Christ. She's the daughter, Eve, mother of the earth, Guru Nanak. Okay, these are the grandchildren. Robin Birdsong, Emperor of the UK and Europe. Singh Birdsong, King of the world, who was King Menelaus, King Arthur, and King Charlemagne. Melanie L. Spear, who was Christopher Columbus, St. Patrick, and she is Princess of the World. Okay, so those and the great-grandchildren we'll talk about later. Let me get started. Celebrity is a cult, a religion. Oh, this is a prince. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is a real prince now. His name is Will Smith. He was Seth, the third son of Adam and Eve. And he is Prince of the world. She is Princess of the World. Did I say that? Melanie's the Princess of the World. Okay. Also, I took notes from this video. And I wrote Egyptian Book of the Dead, having to do with the Grateful Dead, that rock group that they created, and Laurel Canyon, I guess. Antichrist. Oh, AC/DC. AC/DC, that group means Antichrist, Devil's Children. We're on the highway to hell. I guess that was one of their songs, AC/DC songs. That's Oprah's channel, network. New World Order. Satan puts things backwards, so that's why I have to do that together. They do everything backward. Harpo Studios, that's the name of our studios. O-P-R-A-H, Oprah. S-A-T-A-N. Satan backwards. Forward, it spells National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences, the Satan Awards. Kama Sutra, which I talked to you about before. That's over 250 ways to have sex. The Sultan of Brunei kidnapped Eve and made her his sex slave, and their acts are recorded in the Kama Sutra. The Sultan of Brunei's name now is David Foster. Okay, red cabal, red yarn bracelets is what the Satanists wear on their arms. Cabal, Babylonian, Talmud, Jewish. Homosexual priests have sex with 3-year-old girls and boys. That made me drop my camera. The Synagogue of Satan is what these kind of Jews are into. Lucifer does not exist anymore. What is left is waste. This is what she's saying in the video. The ruling class are liars like their father, the devil Satan. The warlocks in Thailand do not have sex with women. They have sex only with little boys. They're Muslims. The Book of Kings is about real kings and something about their prostitutes and transvestites. 1473, Pope Johannes gave birth in front of people, pretending to be a man, before that, and she was put to death. Up until 100 years ago, they castrated all the boys to keep their soprano voices. They were performers, Enoch singers. Amy Winehouse and Whitney Houston were boys. This is Lady Gaga over-the-top drag show for us is what is going on with these so-called sex goddesses. They're men, just like Rock Hudson was sold to the women, as a hunk, and all he was a butt fucker. They program us to be attracted to man dressed like a woman. For generations they've been doing this. Daryl Hannah is a man who kept his name, Daryl. Vatican. The Pope sits on the throne with an upside-down cross. That means Satan. That's the same thing Chelsea Clinton wears, is an upside-down cross, because she's a Satanist, obviously, or she wouldn't wear it. They put symbols around that go into our unconscious mind. The wand for witchcraft, made from the wood of holly. It's witchcraft, Hollywood. In the city of fallen angels. Hollywood, Los Angeles, Lost Angels. The owners of the land killed his wife. This is Griffin Park, near Los Angeles. Or maybe it's in Los Angeles. Killed his wife, saying she was plotting with the Pope to kill me so they can take this 4,000 acres of sacred land, the City of Angels. The husband got only 2 years because he presented such a believable evidence. Kali, pagan, Hindu god. California. What's the pagan Hindu god, Kali? In video games, taking part in witchcraft. One game has a cute little goat on the cover. The game is full of seagulls, symbols. They are casting spells on the players. Adventurer of Sabrina are casting real spells. Does anybody still have TVs? I don't. I sold my TV. I refuse. I couldn't watch it. It was so boring. All they do is try to hypnotize you. They are consciously putting spells on us and messing with our minds. We call it magic. They are hypnotizing our brains. Everything is hidden in plain sight. Watch this video. Shocking. Who switched over our brains? See why you see the world the way you do, because you've been programmed to see it that way. Department of Defense, Pentagon, they have isolated religious genes. They have shut off the genes that allows us to access the religious or spiritual interest in us. You see that? So that's why so few people have no interest in spirituality or religion. The Department of Defense, the Pentagon, turned off the interest genes. Vaccinate. You see, I mean, it's terrible what they've done. Vaccinate human against God gene. That's what they call it. They're vaccinating the human against the God gene. Human race has been excommunicated from God inclination. Hollywood magic wand from Lost Angels. Something about Mount Olympics. And then Laurel Canyon was highly classified military establishment. It was on Wonderland. Or maybe it was Wonderland. One of the two. God. Government building kept completely secret. Lookout Mountain movie studio at the exact time talking movies came out. Sea base. Very few people were aware of this place existence. Dave McGowan has written a book all about Laurel Canyon and the rock bands they cast to perform as rock musicians. self-contained, made a film from soup to nuts. They could make a film from soup to nuts there. Marilyn Monroe, John Wayne, and Jimmy Stewart, John Ford, they all had security clearances to enter this building. Death, they all went to their death, never mentioning that anything about this secret building. 8935 Wonderland Avenue was their address. Breakdowns. When the people had breakdowns, they took them there. Is that what she said? Breakdowns of Hollywood stars. A secret star factory. This building was a secret star factory. Some of the groups who came out of there, and they weren't groups, they were cast to perform as groups. The Doors, the Eagles, the Beach Boys, Frank Zappa, and the Mothers of Invention, Carole King, Mamas and Papas. Now Frank Zappa's different because he's a projection of Gurinder Singh, and he was trying to wake up the apathetic people, the hypnotized people. That's why he did those attention-grabbing antics. Jim Morrison's dad started the Vietnam War. He was in Hawaii December 7, 1941, when the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor. Jim had no interest in music whatsoever. All the stars came from military families. You see that? This is as a result of the military-industrial complex. They weren't against the war. They were military people, young people. His wife was a direct descendant from John Adams. Whose wife? Jim Morrison's mother or somebody like that? One of those acts over there. Eve's husband now was John Adams. Now John Adams is Mark R. Levine. Stephen Steele's father was a mercenary. Lots of covert operations going on. Chemical warfare engineer, Frank Zappa's father. Jackson Browne was born on a military base in Germany, came from blue blood. I think that was his mother or something was a direct descendant from John Adams. So these rock groups members were actors created and put on a stage for us. They weren't anti-war. They were the military-industrial complex. Hotel California. If you listen to those lyrics, she read all the lyrics. I wrote down a couple of lines. Inside of a spirit. She got a lot of pretty, pretty boys. Bring me my wine, Holy Spirit. We haven't had that since 1969. The Byrds, they were cast for these parts on the world stage. The Byrds didn't know how to play their instruments. They were all family members. They expect us to believe they happened to get together. There was nothing in California. The music hubs were New York, Nashville, and Detroit. It's a trap. Don't take the bait. They're programming you. See the video, music has been weaponized since the 1940s. Another video, whistleblower tells all frequency experiments. Or maybe it's whistleblower tells all frequency experiments. Satanists in music. The experiments of Satanists in music. People discovered if you play the records backwards, it says Satan and other satanic messages. I remember when that was going on. Okay, turn off program. Come home from work. Oh, when you leave your work, you turn off your programming, which means you come home from work. You sit down and watch TV or play video games till it's time to go to bed. And then you get up and you go back for more programming at your job the next day. Plus the TV is programming. So nobody has time to think, what are my thoughts? What do I believe? What do I think about this, that, or the other? They were putting people on world stage. There were no clubs. Introduced counterculture hippies to put on a freak show, to go from club to club dancing weirdly and getting attention. Actors would go to clubs. People started going to clubs to see if they could see the stars. And then they introduced drugs in the clubs. You see, this is the military complex. They set this whole thing up. You think it happened organically. Almost nothing big happened organically. Not the moon landing, not Katrina, not 9/11. All that was staged. The moon landing was filmed by Stanley Kubrick. It was a film. 9/11 was a demolition from the Israelis. And who else? What else? Well, let me go on. So the Young Turks, that's what these actors called themselves. Dennis Hopper, Jack Nicholson, Steve McQueen, Jane Mansfield, the Young Turks. The Young Turks was the name of a genocidal army kind of group in Armenia that did the Armenian genocide against the Armenian people. And they have Young Turks on television now who are Muslims, who are evil. They were put on the world. They had military background. I said that. Young Turk, 203, Jack Nicholson gives Roman Polanski a standing ovation and an award. There's a pedophile ring in Hollywood. Meryl Streep. Sharon Tate was Roman Polanski's wife. I remember that. The Manson family came in and killed her and killed her baby. And Abigail Foster. What's the name of that coffee? Floston coffee. They partied with the Beach Boys, The Manson family partied with the Beach Boys. They also partied with Roman Polanski. And they're hypnotized. Video, Q analysis, set up connections. Young Turks. The biggest scam in history. The cult, cabal, and actor-based reality. All the world's a stage. The truth will set you free. Go in to sing Jesus Christ. I'm moving along because I want to finish this if I can. Jesus Christ. I'm going to put it over here for a minute. When the sling Jesus Christ, Son of the Sun, projected himself as Frank Zappa, whose backup band was called the Mothers of Invention, explained during an interview what he was about. They played jazz, and jazz is one of the highest musics. Jazz and classical music are the highest musics. And their act was attention-grabbing. He wanted to wake the people from their trance. His was a battle against apathy. Apathy decoded. Ape at thy. This was the plan, E.T., Eve extraterrestrials' plan of the apes, of the paw ape. The paw ape was Adam, who has evolved. Adam has evolved to the human level. His name is Michael Bldg, an international jazz singer, songwriter, superstar who has just released an album called Love. Bldg has been a superstar in past lives. He was Frank Sinatra, Elvis Presley, Sam Cooke, the Beatles, George Harrison. One of his hits, George Harrison's hits, was My Sweet Lord. The song Hey Jude was about George Harrison, the Beatles song. His hits was, Sam Cooke's hit was Don't Know Much About Algebra. This was the first time Minnow, Mild Red, Eve, Mary had trouble in school. She wasn't getting higher math, algebra, in her high school, Burt High School in Clarksville, Tennessee, the home and school of Wilma Rudolph, winner of 3 gold medals in the Rome 1960 Olympics. Mild Red could relate to the next line in the song also. Don't know much about don't know what a slide rule is for, but I do know that I love you, and I know that if you loved me too, what a wonderful world this would be. See, the guy, Michael Bublé, Adam, sings to Eve, and he's been singing to her since he was Sam Cooke and those other artists I mentioned. Adam, okay, I wrote it too. Adam is singing to Eve. They are ape and an ET from the sun. She's the extraterrestrial from the sun. They are the estranged parents of the humans with light in this world. If the parents get back together, the children would be happy and at peace at last. In a song on his current album, Love, Michael Bublé sings to the Michelle Byrd song, When I Fall in Love, It Will Be Forever, forever decoded. Feelings ordered, mild red, her, R for her, Eve, EV, entered, mild red, her. Okay, so he's saying, Michael Bublé, when he says forever, is saying that he has feelings ordered for mild red. The energy that enters mild red is ordered by his feelings for her. He makes her feel things, in other words, when he sings to her. And he also mirrors her. Okay, I told you about the pictures here. That's Ostara Gloria Turner. She is Kabir, Saint Kabir. She was Chief Sitting Bull. She was Hiawatha. Okay, she is a daughter of Melanie L. Spear, who was Christopher Columbus. This is Ostara Gloria when she was younger. Christopher Columbus, she was. St. Patrick, she was. Queen of Egypt, Cleopatra, she was. Goddess Isis. And so these are all very important people, but they have kept out of the spotlight this life. So you never heard of them, except you heard of Eve's grandson, Jaden, because Will Smith was Seth, the third son of Adam and Eve, and this is his son. So he's Eve's son, he's Eve's grandson, and he's the grandson of the sun. And he, Jaden, is a great-grandson of the sun. So you see there, and the sun is the highest authority. So they are VIPs, and all of these people. And this is Robin Birdsong, the empress of the UK and Europe. Now she was Queen Victoria. She was Michelangelo. She was the mother of Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, the great-great-great-grandmother of Queen Elizabeth II. She was Voltaire, the writer. She was Galileo, the father of science, modern science. When she was Queen Victoria, she was married to Albert, Prince Consort. His name is Earl Percy. He was Indiana Jones. This is Sing Birds. I now remember I introduced you these people earlier, and when I began, I didn't introduce Seth. This is Shiv Dayal Singh. He founded the Dara, where the masters reign supreme. The Jesus Christ reigns at the Dara, and the Jesus Christ conscience before him, and he was Jesus Christ conscience, who reigned at the Dara when he was Sardar Bahadur Jagat Singh. And this is Tonto. And this is, you can tell I'm a woman because I have a womb in my body. That's how you know it's a woman. The babies in my womb are Aria Elizabeth and Giancarlo Arturo, Prince and Princess. I got a picture of one baby there. That's Jesus Christ, a current form, Gurinder Singh, and the daughter of the sun. He's the son of the sun. She's the daughter of the sun. Okay, it's a mild red songbird. Eve, Einstein. Okay, this is Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Lou Ranzinger. And I was in the library and they had a sign. This library is closed January 21st with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday. And I thought, oh, Seth, they're celebrating your birthday. I hope you don't have food to eat and stuff because, I know your mother's struggling. She got a nice boyfriend, Jason, who helps her out. Okay, I'm satisfied with what I've done here and what I've told you and what I've shared with you. So, wake up out of your trance, snap your finger in front of your eyes so you'll come out of your hypnosis. Get rid of the stupid TV. What was his name? Alfonso Rachel. He has he does podcasts, and the beginning of his podcast shows him throwing something at the TV and the TV exploding. I love that opening because it's a very dangerous weapon. Susan Sarandon used to say, sitting in a dark room with that little screen? Oh, how creepy, Okay, so I'm satisfied. I'll make another video probably later tonight if I find more data that I want to share with you. So I'll say now, good night, and stay present, stay alert, stay vigilant. Okay? Good night.